Why, hello there. Welcome to my palm reading shop. Please relax, unwind, breathe. I want you to just be in your most natural state right now. Just allow yourself to recline and relax. Okay. Perfect. Now, when you are ready, we will begin the palm reading. Ground yourself. Feel within your body and see when is the moment that your mind clicks and is in the mentality or the mindset to accept this palm reading. And perfect. All right. Now, do me a favor. Extend your palms like this. Good. Now rest them on your legs. Perfect. Now keep your fingers extended for me. Okay? Perfect. I'm going to be reading the lines on your palms right now, but before I do, is there any question or any goal or any insight that you want me to read in your palm? I'll give you 10 seconds, 20 seconds, as much time as you need to think about it. Okay, that's a good question to propose. Let's see what we can find out about that. Okay, so let me just see. I see that your lifeline reaches like mine to right here on your third finger. Or rather your headline. Some headlines go swooping downwards, or they only meet, or they go all the way across, or they have, different forms to them. And from that is how I'm going to read what is in your palm for you. So because you have a long headline, a long headline, that means that you are a very clever and intelligent person. You are someone who is very inquisitive. You tend to read people quite well, but not to an extraordinary degree. You are someone who is full of accurate perceptions. So to second guess yourself is counterintuitive, or your intuition itself has been well sharpened. Now, I noticed that your headline is swooping upwards. So, what that means is that you tend to have a very active, very productive mentality. You're always rising in your mind. You're always aiming to get better or aiming to get somewhere. And although the only kernel of advice I can give you is to be content with the current moment you have, appreciate the moment you have, for at a later date you might look back on this moment with nostalgia and with a longing to return to a more young and youthful time. Right now you're progressing excellently, and your work is paying off and will continue to pay off. Now, let me see a little quicker right here. Okay. I see that your heart line swoops downwards though. Now, what this means is that if you have a long heart line, you are someone full of empathy, emotion, love. You tend to feel the feelings of other people. You tend to be someone who devotes yourself entirely to another human being. Now, it swoops downwards, which means that your fortune in luck has not been the greatest. Am I correct? Right, okay. So, my kernels of advice for you is to distinguish yourself from others. Recognize yourself as a separate entity, a separate person, a separate being from others. At this current state in the world, it isn't the best to be able to connect on an empathetic level with everyone. They're immature, insecure, and unhealthy right now. It would be like connecting yourself to a poisoned water source. All you're going to be drinking, although you need the water, are the toxins. Likewise, when you connect yourself to the life force with other people, although you do need that life force, in respect to everyone remaining collected and collective and interconnected, you are just bringing in the gallons of pollutants into your soul. Thus, it is in your own benefit to turn off the handle, to close the opening, so that way you can preserve your own health, grow. You are nature, thus you have the capacity to nourish, water, and grow yourself. Now, as for giving yourself wholly to another person and thus indicating your misfortune with romance or love, I would highly encourage you or suggest, because this is all suggestions, you are the captain of your own life. You are the pioneer in your life course. No one has lived the life that you have lived, and no one will live the life that you will live. Thus, you are an explorer, an adventurer in life, and consequently, you embodying that energy will do you well to feel in control of your life, even in the most turbulent and unpredictable times. Now, what I would encourage you to do when it comes to your holy devotion to others is to recognize how if you've given yourself wholly to another person, that connection is in itself holy. And in the same way that you wouldn't give a golden necklace to a tree or to an inanimate object, likewise, don't bless undeserving items with your treasures. You are someone with treasures buried throughout your heart. It's like a golden, glittery, sparkling cave of treasures, like the scene from Aladdin when Aladdin goes down into the mouth of the cave. That is your heart. But you are throwing this heart away as if it were nothing more than plastic, garbage, trash, believing that this cavern of treasures is something that you have to beg someone to accept. In reality, your heart is something to be hidden away, for all of these people that have hurt you have recognized the treasures in your heart, the treasures in your cavern, hence why they've used you for them. But when you keep it hidden away, your Aladdin will come, where he will only take the most valuable thing from you, which is your companionship for life. And if this person is well deserving of it, he will share his own cavern of treasures, and you two will form together in the most valuable of unions, which is a lifelong partnership of two people supporting one another and encouraging one another in their explorations of themselves. The idea that you have to help someone else is a very selfish notion for the other person to accept. You are your own person. You are your own God. Thus, you remain within your own universe, as they are expected to remain within their own universe. Their encouragement and support of you, and vice versa, only comes in the fact of you not impeding or hurting their process, and them likewise with you. And that if you are hurt or wounded or impeded, or if there have been obstacles thrown in your way, your partner is there to hold you up as you overcome that obstacle, but to not do the work for you. For then he will be stealing away your valuable lessons in this exploration. And thus, if another obstacle comes your way, he will thus be responsible for having to leap you over that. He, she, or they. Now, let me look at your lifeline. Okay. I see a very long but very broken lifeline. There are going to come some pains and obstacles and torments in your life. These spindles, these broken lines, can be interpreted as life-ending, life-ruining moments where you just can't see the end of the cavern because you're experiencing these pains as an unproductive, as a torturous, as a unnecessary, brutal passage to a point of happiness. When in reality, this dark tunnel of yours is only dark because you are learning how to craft in this darkness, how to see in the darkness the tools you need to spark the light, to light your way through this brutal time. What does that mean? How do I make that into something a little more tangible? Well, consider the possibility, consider the times that you've experienced hardship in your life. Granted, of course, would it have been better to have never passed through hardship? Yes. 1,000 times, yes. Hardship could make you stronger, but for a while it does weaken and wound you. But in order to make you stronger, you have to really take care of yourself. And as you take care of yourself, when another brutality comes along, it no longer affects you. Why? Because you have the tools, you have the insight, you have the experience, you have the ability to heal yourself quicker, to pass through it faster. You know the ropes. It's no longer a mystery to you anymore. Those that have never experienced any hardship or brutality in life are at risk for experiencing the worst pains throughout their life because they don't know. They're not equipped to pass through like you are. So, during these times, what I would suggest you do is merely look at them as hard, difficult classes, lessons. Even the most brutal of times can become a learning experience of survival, of self-preservation, of inner wisdom and self-exploration, of understanding oneself, and of strengthening one's boundaries, while magically, later on, at a more secure and safe space, learning how to whittle out your fingers, whittle out your energies to encapsulate and attract the energies that you desire, that you want within those boundaries, while maintaining those boundaries and bringing them down and maintaining them at your will, where you're no longer a child running from the whims of others or the whims of authority figures, but rather your own authority figure, your own God or goddess or deity or force of nature or energetic element. with this palm reading, please go forward and look at the world perhaps a little differently, or not. It's completely up to you. You are the captain of your own mind. You are the manager of your own heart.